To T-Boys TV, we're back again with another Hatter Show, obviously episode 88. Obviously, we'll be discussing that Birmingham game, obviously that we won, getting there, and then obviously going on to the massive game tomorrow, which obviously we'll go into more detail with. Obviously, I did do my prediction earlier on the FA Cup predictions alongside Championship, but yeah, like always, joined with my dad. How are we, Dad?
Yeah, all good, mate. You?
Yeah, all good, all good. Obviously, you got the game spot on the weekend, you know what I mean? And that was obviously against Birmingham City away, which I did say, going into it, revenge on Brum is needed. Obviously, after last season, unfortunately not being able to quite get the 3 points in a reverse fixture earlier on in the season. The lineup, obviously, was Ethan in goal. Obviously, it was Dre May, Bell, obviously Doherty, Osho and Burke, Ruddock, Nakamba and Clark, and then up front was Adebayo and Morris. An interesting one. Obviously, we expected, that sort of back line with obviously Lockyer being not available. Potentially maybe Potts, but both thought maybe he would be in on that left side. But overall, I was still, I'm not questioning, but I was still, thinking about the Campbell thing. But in the end, Nakamba played well. Obviously, we'll get a bit more into that. But yeah, obviously the bench, Berry, Campbell, Fred, Potts, Shea, Taylor and Woodrow. So yeah, obviously a good bench. Obviously, I've been saying it for weeks now. It's good that we've got the more options. Like a couple of games ago, we had like one defender. Now we obviously got a few people that go there, like Potts. Obviously, Fred can play as a wing back as well. So yeah, decent lineup. What did you make of the lineup, Dad?
Yeah, it's what it is. Like, I think what it is where the formation's slightly different from what we're putting out there. So instead of a cam, there's a CDM, and that's what the Canberra is basically doing, and that's what he's been brought in for. And and at the end of the day, it's not that he's got a problem with Campbell. It's that's how we're playing now. We're playing with a CDM. We're not playing with the cam, and so that's why he's getting. So basically, it's not that Campbell's getting in ahead of the camera. He's not getting ahead of Ruddock or Clark, who are both playing, the central midfield position roles, basically. And obviously Clark goes forward when he can, but ultimately he's not playing as a cam. That's what it is. So expect that going forward. That is sort of a formation, not formation, but he does like to play. He used to play with a CDM with Forest Green. So expect that going forward. You know what I mean? If we can't sign him permanently, depending on what happens, promotion and we'll be looking to sign someone who plays in that position. And let's be honest, Campbell's better going forward as well. Like he's a box to box midfielder. He's not a CDM, So Potts obviously was on the bench initially, but got injured in the.
Oh yeah, of course he did. Yeah. Forgot about that.
Who did we draft in? Watson, I think it was.
Watson, it was, yeah.
So that's Other than that, that was the expected lineup, really. So yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Let's go through some comments before we get into the first half. Yeah, facts, Chris, facts. Says, good evening, lads. Hope you're well. Us EFL fans, loving life. Obviously, Carlisle fan. 4-0 at half time. Worth the journey in the end. Ended up winning 5-2. You know what I mean? Absolute madness. Big up to British Chap in the chat. Big up yourself, mate. Hope you're well. So, yeah, you were loving it as well, Dad.
Well, yeah, he done better than expected, but ultimately, Tommy didn't do as well as I expected him to do. There's a lot of hug. It was a hug fest. He caught him a couple of times, but Tommy caught him a couple of times. It weren't the greatest of fights, but at the end of the day, he got the win, and then obviously you heard a couple of it. I was sick and this, that, and the other. Do you know what I mean? Like, and let's be honest, like, you know, we all thought like Fury, you know, Tommy wouldn't feel the pressure. Like he did a bit, but he still got the job done. But ultimately, you could see at the end that it all built up for him. Do you know what I mean? And he was feeling the whole pressure of everything because he's the one who had everything to lose. Do you know what I'm saying? Jake Paul didn't. You know, so he, you know, I do think if they have a rematch, that it'll be a totally different story. Is what it is, isn't it? Made an easy 4 mil from that.
Yeah,
that's about it. That's all I've got to say about it, really. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was just hugging, and like the points deductions were for both of them were just bullshit. I think.
I thought that.
So. I mean, if it was another ref, he probably would have said, "Look, stop hugging like that." You know, like it's ridiculous, man. So, but whatever. Like, I've seen much better. Obviously, what do you expect? Like, it's too novice. I've saw better fights in the charity. You know, the fights that you were in, Tyler. Do you know what I mean? I'm not even gonna lie. So,
yeah,
what can I say?
I hear what you're saying.
It's just the way of the world, isn't it? Easy money and that, and that's what people were discussing afterwards. Is he going to take? He should take the traditional boxing route because of the name and that. But then at the end of the day, it's what it is today, isn't it? If it's easier for him to make millions from fighting, you know, whoever, celebrities or whatever the fuck you want to call them, then do that, isn't it? You know, a lot of people saying it'll go. Well, I don't think it will. I think there's going to end up being there'll be some sort of breakaway in that respect. There will be, but then but if there is, then they shouldn't be able to fight proper boxers, yeah, unless they move over to the circuit and you know what I mean? You stick to fighting celebrities or the YouTubers, and that's it. Create your own little divisions and that, and whoever want to watch that will watch that, and whoever don't, you know what I mean? That's probably what will end up happening. You know, I think that's because of that fight, and then you got, you know, countries like, you know, the rich countries, the, you know, the slightly dodgy countries, they're willing to pay the cash and that as well, isn't it? So is what it is, man. But going forward, like, I probably won't watch much more of that. I can't see any more interest now, to be honest. Might watch a rematch if there is one. That's about it. Unless, like, you know, you see Jose Mourinho against fucking Thomas Tuchel or something, then I would.
No, it should be him versus Conte. Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
And that's it. Like, I'd rather watch. You know, the fight before that was a much better, fight, much better fight. And then guys,
that was a good fight, man.
They're older and that, but they're seasoned pros, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's all got to say about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Chris says a good win for Luton away. No easy games away from home in EFL. Yeah, I always knew it's going to be tight. You know, still giving, you know, the position Birmingham are in. I knew it's going to be tight. You know, we haven't obviously beat them in the last 3 games before this one. I knew it's always going to be one of them tight affairs. A 1-goal win, and obviously it was. Yeah, exactly. British chap, mate. Says Tommy is a fighter in development. Massive win for his confidence. Very happy for him. Exactly. Yeah, obviously you were saying this to me beforehand, Dad.
That was ridiculous. That he should have been thrown out for that, because if someone done that in a professional fight, they'd get destroyed. They'd probably get, you know, some sort of penalty for that. You can't be calling someone out in the middle of a fight like that. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's disrespectful as well. What an idiot. Yeah. And well, he's another one who chats a lot of shit, and then look what happened. Do you know what I mean? There was no knockout. Didn't even come close to knocking Fury out, in my opinion. Yeah, he punched him in the face, but that's what happens in boxing. You get punched in the face. Do you know what I mean? He took it pretty well. Do you know what I mean? And he did walk onto the one where he walked onto it and then kind of slipped at the same time. But that's just novice stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, it weren't like he proper clouted him and that. It was just an error, really. And it still didn't really affect the fight anyway.
Yeah. Chris says, still want Tommy to move on from this YouTube nonsense, fight proper fighters. He's ranked in cruiserweight rankings now, so the time to start and develop. Exactly.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. He should, but you might want to go with the money, you know.
Yeah, I was going to say, sometimes the money's there, yeah.
But he's made 4 million now. Like, it's not like he's going to want for anything for the rest of his life, is it? So he could go back to the normal thing. You know, this is what annoys me as well. Like, you know, I'd be happy if I had £2 million to make less than that. Do you know what I mean? South Park wouldn't be like, oh yeah, I need another £50 million in my bank. Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous, especially when there's people out there starving and that. Do you know what I mean? I just the you know, games and all that around it as well, where they're showing Ronaldo there and all these other people there and matey boy coming out, Mike Tyson. Oh yeah, you're a devout Muslim, aren't you? Yeah, in between smoking about an ounce of weed a day, he is. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Load of crap. So annoying.
Obviously, talk about Swansea. Nah, not for me. I think their team, as much they're very inconsistent, I think they're better than a lot of teams that are in that battle.
All the other teams are just worse.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, and then that one, yeah, exactly. But anyway, back to the game. First half, I didn't really think there was too much in it, other than that chance we had. Elijah had a bow. Don't really think there was much on it. Obviously, if you saw the highlights as well, that was the only thing they showed in the first half. So it was one of them where I felt, you know, we were in control. You know, just what we've had a lot of times this season, and it's just trying to get that final third at times in games where it's not clicked, just that end product sometimes. Elijah was unlucky on the header. You know, people are sitting there still finding a way to criticise him because he's had good chances the last couple of games. But at the end of the day, like I said, people, it's not too long ago he got 5 out of 5. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, at least it's not like last season where we're too reliant on him. Do you know what I mean? Because if that was the case, then it's still like, it's just, yeah, it's one of them. But yeah, first half, there's not really much to report on, to be honest. Your thoughts on the first half, Dad?
From what I could see, obviously my internet was playing up, wasn't it? But we were pretty much in control. Like, just I don't know. Dre May looked decent. Morris was very good, from what I could see. And defensively, we were sound, and this is without Lockyer as well. So yeah, we just needed to step it up a little bit, and you know, I felt we was all right in the first half. Doubt is just quality. Every time he crosses the ball, like, pretty much, like, it's a decent delivery. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Going into the second half, that's where the game obviously lit up a lot more. Obviously, the first talking point is the goal, straight on half time. Whatever Rob Edwards said worked. And Morris, that guy again, right, you know, right time, right place. You know, brilliant ball by Doughty, you know, like we said. You know, Bell with the layoff to him as well. And yeah, it's just a typical Morris goal this season. You know, I said it when I went live, not when I went live, sorry, when I recorded the goal. And yeah, absolute scenes, obviously in front of their travelling away fans, just under 2,000. Like I said, big up to everyone that went to that. And yeah, just a typical Morris goal, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, like, well executed as well. Headed it down into the ground to make it much more difficult for the keeper. John Ruddy, who ended up on his backside wrestling with the net. So that was quite cool. Yeah, like, and straight away as well, like, and from then I just thought, yeah, we'll definitely be in control now.
Getting that early goal in the second half.
Doughty's finding it again. Great cross, and he's you can see it, like, they do it all the time in training, and you know, just peeled off of his man and powered it in. He's a big, strong lad. Just luckily for us, considering what happened later on to him, do you know what I mean? But yeah. It was a very good goal. 13th for the season. 13th
Yeah.
sheet for Ethan. We haven't conceded a goal in open play for 7 matches, mate. So, our defence is decent. We don't lose a lot of games either. And even last season, our record's pretty much identical to last season, except for I think we've lost one more game last season than we have this season. So we're well on course to do exactly the same, if not better, at this season, and I think we will.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I agree. Not sure, mate. Not sure yet, as of yet. Jackie says, hi, Ty does. Real scrappy first half, I thought. Yeah, I'd agree. Second half, much better. Yeah, of course. They were the main talking points of the game from the second half. So, yeah, no worries. See you in a bit, mate. See you in a bit. Big up yourself for tuning in. But, yeah, obviously, like we said, typical Morris goal. And that's the thing, he had, until the last, 2 games, had a bit of a spell where, he was struggling to find the net, and he's still up there in goal scorers. He's third, on top goal scorers. So, yeah, man, he's still up there. It's good that he's getting the goals. Unfortunately, he did have to come off, though, and he had a cast around him. Robert was saying he had to obviously get has to get x-rayed and all that. So, speedy recovery and all of that. Good thing is, at least it's not like a situation like I said earlier, say if it was Elijah last season, then we would probably be in the mud. Whereas, now we got obviously Elijah still, Woodrow, who played really well, I thought, when he come on. Taylor to come on, and he seems like, he's done decent when he's come on. So at least the options are there. Obviously, it is a bit gutting. So obviously, Morris top scorer, etc. But yeah, at least the options are there. And then obviously changed it up a bit. See some substitutions come on, and just to see the game out. Birmingham had a little bit, I'd say, of a spell in the second half where we cleared it away. It was a bit scrappy in the box. Dre May got it out in the end. I thought he had a wicked game, by the way.
Played by him. They hit the crossbar as well, Hogan.
Yeah, which I was going to get into right near the end. So they had a little bit of a spell, but overall, like my dad said earlier, when we got that goal, you just thought we was going to be in the driving seat to go on and win the game. Especially I felt that actually, at the time I was watching it, because obviously the time we've got the goal, it's a good time to get it right after half time. So yeah, man, that's really my thoughts on it. Anything else you want to say on the game overall?
Yeah, after that, Morris had another chance to put it away.
Yeah,
unlucky really. And then obviously then he got kung fu, didn't he?
Disgraceful. That's not a red card.
Yeah, again, that's why sometimes you do need VAR, because he's give the yellow card. If he didn't give a card for it, we could probably have appealed that maybe, or I think you can, but retrospectively put it back or whatever. But because he could give a card, it was a dangerous tackle. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Footed, feet off the floor, and it probably still sore or whatever, but it was the way he fell, which is why he come off more than anything. As the X-ray and out, I'm thinking he's probably all right. But if he is bruised and that from it, then he'll probably be rested or on the bench. But I'm thinking that he's probably going to be all right. But who knows? I haven't heard anything. So, if we're going to not risk him, then Woodrow come on, done really well. Had a 30-yard shot, which nearly squeezed, and was always willing to run forward. And he is, because he wants to try and get into the team. If he comes on and starts smashing in the goals, and Elijah ain't, or Morris ain't, then he's going to get a starting, isn't he? That's as simple as that. So, I still think we still got a lot to see from him, but that was definitely should have been a red card. But regardless of that, it's not a red card. as in, oh, we needed him to be sent off because we were struggling. Like, it's just principle.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
yeah, that's about it really. They got, they haven't won in 5, is it now?
Yeah.
Or they've lost the last 5 or something like that. And that's again grinding out them wins shows that your team up there. That's what you have to do in the championship. Just want us to start scoring more goals, like because if you get promoted, it's hard enough to score goals in the Premier League as it is. Do you know what I mean? That's the thing. But if we don't, I'd like to see us score a hell of a lot more next season. Do you know what I mean? So we'll see.
Yeah, no, 100%. But yeah, no, I definitely agree. That was a red card. Just the way he's went in. He could have proper damaged his leg. I could have broke it. So that was just madness to me. But then again, referees in Championship, not really. What we get pretty much week in, week out. But yeah, no, it's one of them. Like you say, when we are team we are, which is a playoff battling team, you've got to grind them results out, and that's what we do. That's what we've done a lot in the last 2 seasons. So yeah, man. Obviously, we won't do player ratings because you didn't manage to watch the first half like you would have liked to.
Yeah, it was just a nightmare. And then the second half, I just listened to it. But obviously, I've seen highlights. We can have a little talk about who played well.
Yeah. I was going to get into that. Who's your man of the match?
I don't know. Like, I can only base it on what I've heard really, and other ratings and what I've seen. I don't know. I think it's probably a tie up between Osho.
Yeah, he was good.
We knew, we said this ages ago anyway. Like, do you know what I mean? Range of passing was good. Defensively, very, very good. Position, and stuff like that. Who else? Doughty, he played well. Morris played really well before he come off. So it was more of an all-round effort really from most of the team. Do you know what I mean? They all played pretty well. Drame played well. Burke come off injured, didn't he? So that's a bit of a worry. I just feel sorry for him. I'm hoping it's not too serious because every time he starts getting up to speed, or he's playing well, he picks up these injuries. So we'll have to see what happens with that. But I don't know. I'll give it to Osho.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm going to give it to Drame. I thought he was really good. I said there was a moment actually between Osho and Drame where it was in the second half. Osho, brilliant ball over to him, and he obviously kept it on. And
yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Really had a chance, yeah.
Yeah.
And I just thought it's good, especially that thing where it's absolutely scrappy. When Birmingham had a little bit of the spell in the game, he was the one who, got it away.
Out of the box. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Again, that's probably, that's his fault. I think the first time he's played 90 minutes as well. So on that basis, then yeah, you could say. But that's
exactly
what a good business by the club again to be looking, identifying him and bringing him in as soon as we knew Bree was going. And I'll just quickly touch on that Bree situation. Since Nathan Jones has been sacked, he's not even in the squad, mate, at all. So I don't know what contract he got there, and you say, yeah, he's getting paid for it and that, but ultimately he's at the peak of his career and he wants to be playing football, mate. And
it's a joke that he's not even in the team.
But if they get, well, not if, when they get relegated, Maitland-Niles and who's the other right back? Walker-Peters. They're probably, at least one of them probably end up leaving anyway. And do you think Ward-Prowse is going to stay there as well?
Well, I heard Maitland-Niles don't even want to play right back. He wants to actually play in midfield. So to me, that tells me he probably will go.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens, and if he doesn't start playing in the Championship, then he'll just want to leave. Because he. So we'll see. But potentially we could end up getting him back on loan or re-signing him. Mate, we're just giving the money back what we paid for him.
Yeah, no bad blood whatsoever.
or whatever, yeah, we give them a little bit more money than it is on, job done. Do you know what I mean? Unless we can sign Cody in properly anyway. So we'll see.
Yeah. To me, Hanno, mate, it is just well, it's just a sign of disrespect. He said any reason for dropping or just not favouring. It's just a sign of disrespect to me.
Straight away, yeah. For me, it is like it's almost like, yeah, you're not good enough. You're not good enough because Nathan Jones signed you. That's it. Played like one game.
Yeah, real talk.
And you can't be. I just think it's this. Not even on the bench. Like, do you know what I mean? I can understand them not playing him potentially or whatever. But not even on the bench. Like, just it's obvious to me why they've dropped him.
Yeah, exactly. And also, Hanno said this before. He said, "What's your opinion on VAR and refs?"
But it still needs to be streamlined, but I can see it getting slightly better. I've watched, the cup final the other day and certain things like that where they're not being as finicky, because I think they've been told off. Like, you can't be just making it up as you go along and that. And as long as it's clear and things like that, then it's fine. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to start seeing any bias, like if we get promoted and then, it's like, well, we can't give it to them because they're playing Man City or whatever. No, if it's just and fair, you give it no matter what. So I'd just be interested. But refs, yeah, it's just standard of refs. Like, especially in the Championship, it's almost like they're pissed off because they might have been demoted from the Premier League or they haven't got to that level or whatever. Like, and yeah, just sometimes it's just inconsistent.
Yeah,
totally inconsistent. Do you know what I mean? Like, for both teams as well. Like, genuinely.
Yeah. I thought one the other day was poor for both teams.
Yeah, when you're watching your team, it's easy to go, oh, he's giving them everything, or he's not giving them. Yeah, sometimes, but sometimes you can see it like both ways as well. Do you know what I mean? So
like for example, in my opinion, Burnley game, ref was terrible for us, but like the Birmingham game, referee was terrible for both teams. I felt anyway. So people will say more so us because of the red card, or should be a red card and that, but I think it was poor for both, to be honest. So yeah, exactly, Chris. I always say this as well, mate. He says it's the referees using it, not the technology. Exactly. Half of them act like they're doing it.
Oh, and then like one of them got dropped, didn't he, because of the Arsenal thing where the geezer was blatantly offside or whatever, and he didn't even do the lines, or he forgot to. Yeah, come on, mate.
Yeah, I know, it's mad.
Mate.
I say this every time, mate.
Like, I don't know how it works, so I think they need to be more stricter on them. Go, right, that's it. If you get 3 strikes, you're refereeing in not the conference for 6 months or so. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, right. So
just I don't know, like, do they not get paid enough? I don't think they get a lot, but I don't see them striking, so it can't be that bad.
Yeah, it's just madness. I always say it's the people behind it. It's not actually the tech. Like the idea of it's brilliant. It's just sometimes I swear they just take the piss and act like they don't know what they're doing. So yeah, anything else you want to say on that Birmingham game? though? There we go. So here we go, people. The massive one, playoff battle incoming. It's an absolute madness between us and Millwall right now. We're in the same points, same goal difference. I think the only reason they're above us is because they've scored one more or something. It's something weird. Obviously, we're taking them on TV. Thank God we don't have that TV voodoo no more. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, let's go into a bit of insight going into it, and then obviously we will get into lineups and that. So last 4 meetings between Luton and Millwall at Kenilworth Road have all ended as draws. Millwall have only lost 1 of their last 9 league games against Luton, won 5, drawn 5, going down 2-0 in October 2021. Luton have lost 2 of their last 4 home matches, 1-2 as many as their previous 17 beforehand, 1-6, drawn 9, lost 2. I said earlier, it's just the draws. It's just, the Hatters could suffer back-to-back league defeats at Kenilworth Road for the first time since November 2021. Reading this, it sounds like they're flipping want us to lose. Jeez. Millwall have only won 1 of their 9. This is a good one for us to hear. 9 midweek championship games this season. Drawn 5, lost 3, and the only win was against someone we would have loved it to be against. The 3-0 against Watford in October. And then the last one, I'm going to read on this bit. Bradshaw has scored in 3 of his 4 league appearances against Luton for Millwall, 3 goals, with 2 of those 3 strikes coming at Kenilworth Road. So there's a bit about that. Obviously, going into it, both on the back of a win, both on the back of a 1-0 win as well. I did say Millwall would beat Stoke 1-0, and they did. Obviously, I said 2-1, but I knew we'd win the game. But yeah, this is what Rob Edwards has got to say about it. So 2 teams that are in there at the moment, and deservedly so. We've got to make it a really good game, and these are the games we want to be involved in. Our fans are going to have the place rocking. It's one we're really looking forward to. We've got to recover well now, assess everyone tomorrow and see how everyone is. Millwall will be the same. They obviously had a really tough away fixture at Stoke, so it's the one we're really looking forward to. Obviously, a bit about Millwall, going into this. Millwall are like the Hatters, obviously trying to get a place in the playoffs this season, are well in contention for the top 6 coming the end of the season. Manager Gary Rowlett has been in charge at the Den since 2019, which to date makes him the 2nd longest serving manager in the division. After a playing career spanning more than 350 matches with the likes of Everton, Derby County and Birmingham City, he's now looking for his first promotion as a manager. Obviously, a bit about Bradshaw, a bit more. He's a joint goal scorer this season, along with Fleming, and has now made over 100 appearances for Millwall since signing for the club in 2019. He scored his 4th goal in 2 games against Burnley a week ago, following a hat-trick against Sheffield United, taking his tally to 11 for the season. The last time we met at Kenilworth Road, I went to it last season. I'll not be going to this one, or we'll be doing a watch-along. But it was obviously a 2-2 draw. Very good game if you're on neutral. Similar in some ways, you could say, in my opinion, because I remember a bit about the game to the Grimsby game, where we were so good going forward, but defensively, not as great. Bradshaw put the away side ahead before Elijah replied with a cool finish, combining well with Bell. Phoebe looked to seal victory for the Lions with 9 minutes remaining, but then obviously Snodgrass' late free kick turned into his own net by Jake Cooper. So there we go with that one. And something we do have to start looking at, because how these games have been, are the officials. So the referee is Geoff. I don't know how to say his surname. I think it's Eltringham. He recently took charge of Luton's 1-0 win against Cardiff at the end of last month. So far this term, he's taken charge of 18 matches, 7 of which in the Championship, dishing out 65 yellow cards and 3 reds. So there you go, about the referee there. But yeah, that's a bit of insight going into the game. After saying all that, Dad, how are you feeling going into this one?
Yeah, I think basically both we're neck and neck on everything, pretty much.
Yeah.
We're both very similar, you know what I mean? We have to be switched on. But we have got a really good record against them at Kenilworth Road. We don't really lose to them. But I just think it's just going to pan out and it's just we're gonna cancel each other out, basically.
Yeah.
Ideally, we want to win, but they'll be thinking the same because it puts us and Norwich or whoever's below us. Because this is basically a game in hand for both of us. So I just think, I'm confident we can get a result, but I just think it's going to be tough, and I just think we're going to end up cancelling each other out and end up settling for a draw.
Fair enough. Millwall's away form as well. Then 10th in the league. They've won 3 of their last 5. So obviously they lost to Middlesbrough. No shame in that. What Middlesbrough doing. Beat Cardiff 1-0. Beat QPR away 2-1. Obviously, they lost to Coventry, which I was surprised about. Saying that though, Coventry had done well since that draw to us. And then they obviously beat Stoke at the weekend. So, yeah, they're 10th in the table for that. Obviously, home form for us is obviously as good as, we know it can be. We're 15th when it comes to that. But then again, we started getting a bit of a rhythm going. We won 3 of our last 5 at home. Obviously, beat Norwich, which was a midweek, as we know. 2-1. Obviously, lost that game to West Brom. Beat Cardiff, beat Stoke, and then obviously the narrow defeat to Burnley. So, yeah, that's a bit of that as well. How am I feeling going into it? It's one of them where we literally, like my dad said, we're level and everything. But I do have that feeling, given that, neither side has drawn in their last 5, obviously them away and us at home in that sense. I think someone's going to sneak it. A couple of weeks ago, I'd have probably said a draw. But just seeing that, I feel someone's going to sneak it. It could go either way. So, yeah, that's really my thoughts going into it there. Hanno Sani remembers the vlog last season. Yeah, it was an absolute madness. But, yeah, like I said, it was one of them. Brilliant game if you're neutral. But, yeah, for our sake, it was a bit annoying the manner we conceded the goals. But, yeah, that is that. What we'll get into now is obviously the lineup. So, yeah, obviously, a few players. Well, say a few players. Lockyer will be back for this one. There's a few that we're obviously not sure about. Like, for me personally, it's Burke. I'm not sure about that one. But, yeah, let's just go with what I know. So, yeah. Obviously, Ethan in goal. Didn't really have an awful lot to do. Obviously, they hit the woodwork and we cleared it away in the end. So, yeah, it didn't really have to do an awful lot the other day. Because of the Burke thing, I'm going to go... What am I going to go with? I'm going to go... I think I'm going to go Osho on the right. I'm going to go put Lockyer straight back in for this one. I feel we need him as well, especially against Millwall. Lockyer can get under team skin. And then the left side. Who am I going to go with on the left side? I think what I might do is go. I go Bell on the left side. See, last couple of times he has played there, he's done well. I'm going to go Doherty there. Right. Obviously going to go with Drame. Midfield. Going to go with midfield. I'm going to go... this one's tough. Do you know what? Go Campbell. Phil, especially with a quick turnaround against Millwall as well. He's a player that's suited for this one. Then I'm going to go Ruddock. Feels a bit hard to drop him at the moment. Obviously, he was the captain the other day as well. And I thought he'd done a good job. So, yeah, big up to him for that. Just ahead of them, I think that speaks for itself, really, doesn't it? Clark. And then up front, I don't think Morris will be back yet. Potentially on the bench, either way, if he is. So I'm going to go Woodrow. And like I said, he looked good the other day when he come on. And obviously Elijah. But you could chop and change. You could maybe put Elijah on the right side, Woodrow on the left. But I'll go with it like that. That's a lineup I'd go with. Your thoughts on that lineup, Dad?
Yeah, I'm thinking like with the way we're playing, we're having a CDM. So I think we change that to, well, whatever it is, 5-1-2.
No, not that one. What am I doing? This one? Oh, it's not that one. Oh, not that one. Where the hell is it?
You should go through them until you find it. Maybe it don't have it on there.
Yeah. Oh, mate.
For a new one.
Annoys me because I've done it before. So where the hell's it gone? I don't know where it is. I can't lie.
Well, just stick it for back what it was then. And
yeah, I've literally went through all of them. So
yeah, maybe look for a better one. And it ain't got Elijah on it. So. So yeah, probably that. If we were guessing that Burke's not going to start, and Morris is not going to start, I just think Clark will be in Campbell's position. Well, basically, Campbell will start again, and Clark and Rudder could be just ahead of him.
yeah,
that's what I reckon.
fair enough. Fair enough. People's comments on it. Where's it? It probably will start, but I just think Campbell's more suited for this type of game and a quick turnaround as well. But yeah, it's my opinion on the lineup I'd go with. Hanno says same. You just put Marvellous in there. Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. It probably will be, to be fair. Chris put in his score predictions, so I'll save that and do it at the end. But yeah, it is that time, Dad. Obviously, it sounds like you're going to go with a draw, given what you said earlier. So yeah, what is that draw score?
I think it's going to be just tight. Just going to cancel each other. Yeah, someone could sneak it, but it's either going to be goals galore or it's not going to be many at all. I'd say I'm going to go 1-1.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Like I said, for me, I could see a draw, but just seeing the fact what I saw earlier of the thing where we've won 3 of our last 5 at home. They've without no draws and their away form. Sorry, what the hell I just said there. Obviously they haven't. 3 of their last 5 they've won without any draws as well. I think someone could edge it. Obviously the favourite prediction will be a draw, but I'm going to back us. I'm going to back us to win. I'm going to go with exact same score as it was when we played Norwich at home. And I can see it being a similar game to something like that, to be quite honest with you. Where, we maybe get an early goal, they equalise, and then we get a goal. Not probably as late as we did against Norwich, but I can see us getting a later one and going on to win it, which will obviously be massive. So, yeah, I'm going to go 2-1 Luton. 2-1 Luton is my prediction. Goal scorers, Dad?
I'm going to go Clark.
Yep, Clark. Okay, interesting. I'm going to go... Do you know what? I'm going to go Woodrow. I think he's going to make a really good, go of his time to start. So I do think he will start, and I'm going to go Ruddock. I'm actually going to go Ruddock. Got a feeling he might bang one in. So yeah, there we go. Your predictions. Make sure you get them in if you haven't already. Luton 1-1 Millwall. Don't want Millwall in the Premier League. Please have enough to deal with. Oh my days. So yeah, Hanno's got 2-1 Luton. He said big games against better opposition. Luton always perform exactly. Well, he said he could see a 1-1 as well. Yeah, fair enough. Hanno's put his goal scorers in as well. Clark and Dre May. That would be nice. That would be good. But yeah. Any final thoughts? Final things you'd like to say, Dad?
No, 8 o'clock kick-off. Obviously, you know, a lot of police presence and stuff like that. So Sky got quite lucky with that game, to be honest, considering how things panned out. And I think it will be a really competitive game. But just see, like I said, edge out. Obviously, I wouldn't be surprised if we won, but then I wouldn't be surprised if they won either. Like, I think it could go either way.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll pan out that way because none of us are really going to want to lose. Do you know what I mean? Just get an extra point on the board, kind of thing. But we'll see. If we do win it, then if we
win, you can jump up.
Then 2 games, Birmingham away and Millwall at home, and we get the 6 points, then we're looking great shape. And going into the playoffs, not just that, just going forward as well, because potentially they could finish in the playoffs as well, and we could end up playing them. So, it's a little bit of a test on that way as well. But like I said, I think it's just going to end up cancelling each other out.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I was going to say something. I can't remember what I was going to say now. Yeah, I can't actually remember. Chris says, I always see on Tyler's stories on Instagram about Campbell winning the start. Yeah, obviously I did a question mark the other day. Campbell played well, but I don't know. Just feel with a quick turnaround. I don't know. I feel this might be suited for Campbell, but I don't know. We will see. Hanno's saying he can watch the game. It is on for him, so that's good. That is good, mate. Enjoy it. But like I said, I'll be doing a watch long to it. So yeah, that is that. And like I said, if we do obviously win this game, we can go 4th, and we'll actually only be a point off Middlesbrough. So yeah, man, big opportunity to get back in that 4th position. Obviously, I did say, we would finish 4th at the start of the season. So hopefully get that right. So yeah, man, that is that. That is the end of the Hatter Show. Obviously, episode 88. Big up everyone tuned in. Much appreciated, like always. Like count is currently on 8 likes. Don't forget to smash the like button if you haven't already. I know people watch this back on playback as well, so please do that if you're watching there. Subscribe to the channel if you are new as well. And like I did say, we have gained a new subscriber today. So big up to yourself, whoever that was. And yeah, if you want to follow me across any of my socials, links to them are in the description. And yeah, subscribe to the other channel as well, T-Boys TV Extra. Hanno did post a video on there yesterday, so make sure you check that out if you haven't already. That would be much appreciated. And big up David in the chat who's just said, yes, T, have a good night. And yourself, mate. I'm going to chill out. Probably watch Swansea Rotherham. It's not the most attractive game in the league, but see what happens. I might get 5 games spot on this week. So we will see, man. We will see. But yeah, next Hatter Show will be on Friday. Obviously, talk about this game and then going into Swansea at home, another home game. Also, see how Swansea do due to that as well. So yeah, take care and peace.